Dennis Neal with Monty TV. We're under the fig tree and interviewing kind of a speed demon. Matthew Prince is the CEO of CloudFlare, and what it does for businesses is it makes the internet even faster. Thanks for being with us, Matthew. So you have, there's millions of computer networks in the world. You guys have one. What is the ranking in the world of your network in terms of number of nodes?
So we're one of the fastest and biggest networks in the world, and we actually power about 5% of all internet requests today, helping make the internet faster and also then protecting the web from bad guys.
Yeah. Now there's an incumbent company, Akamai, that I know pretty well from years ago. Do you do what Akamai does?
A little bit. Akamai started about 16 years ago, so we're like an Akamai built 16 years later. Akamai has about 3,500 customers. Every single day we sign up about 3,500 customers. So we have over 2 million customers, a much broader set of customers, and focused more on providing a complete solution of performance, security, availability, DDoS mitigation, all of those things that you used to have as hardware. So we think more of our competition as being the hardware vendors, companies like Cisco, than companies like Akamai.
DDoS mitigation, that would be denial of service attack protection against that?
That's right. So we've stopped some of the largest denial of service attacks in history, including those launched by state actors, attacks that have gotten over 500 gigabits per second. We have over 3 terabits of capacity across our network to be able to absorb and stop these attacks.
5% of the world's internet traffic runs through your network. It's a pretty impressive number, but you also told me that you're the 43rd largest network in the world, a world of millions of networks, and you rank 43, is that right?
Yeah, and that's pretty amazing because most of the biggest networks, the most connected networks, are telecom networks, and our company's only about 4.5 years old at this point. And so we've been able to grow extremely quickly and now power some of the largest websites in the world, ranging from media publications to national governments to some of the largest banks in the world. And every day, again, thousands and thousands more customers sign up for our service.
You got a saying though, you got to show not tell, like which banks, which kinds of customers? Give us some names.
So Goldman Sachs uses us, Wells Fargo, a number of other large financial institutions, the national government of Singapore, the UK, a bunch of US government sites. Again, it's hard to actually characterize our customers because they're so vast, from traditional websites to modern web applications to mobile applications like Uber, Path. Those are all actually being powered off of CloudFlare's network.
What will your revenue be in 2015?
So one of the advantages of being a private company is that we don't have to disclose exactly what our revenue is, but we're well on track to being a public company someday, and we'll pass a $100 million run rate sometime this year.
$100 million revenue run rate sometime this year. That's a pretty nice piece of change. Why go public though? Why not sell out to Cisco?
I think that what we're doing is pretty disruptive. It's really taking what used to have to be done as on-premise hardware and being able to provision it as a service that a company can pay for on a month-to-month basis. And we're following a really macro trend where the world is moving away from software, hardware, CapEx, and moving towards services, cloud, and OpEx. And when you have these disruptive changes, really disruptive large new companies come out of it, I'm not confident that any of the existing hardware manufacturers are going to be able to adapt to the new world. And so we're going to be able to see a whole bunch of new providers that are providing services like this. And again, I think CloudFlare is well positioned to be one of those.
You know, the internet has changed everything so much in tech. Do you think that it takes newly minted, newly formed companies to do this? Are the incumbents dead here? They got to end up buying guys like you?
Again, I think it's even difficult for them to buy companies like us. There aren't very many examples of companies that have moved from a CapEx software or hardware-like model to an OpEx services cloud model. In fact, Adobe is about the only one that you can point to that's done that successfully, and that should be required teaching in every business school course that's out there. It's very, very, very difficult for companies that have built their entire organization around selling software and hardware to turn into services companies. So I think that as you look at the winners of the future, they're going to be these services companies, and it's very difficult for an Oracle to become a Salesforce, and it's very difficult for a Cisco to become a CloudFlare.
Nice job. Thank you so much for being with us today. The CloudFlare CEO, Matthew Prince, Monty TV. We'll be back with more.